What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy podcast. Today is episode number 67.
7. We can count.
67.
Big boy numbers.
And over the weekend, me and Everett, there was just one thing on our minds. There was just a big number that just struck us right in the face. 97% of everyone watching this is not subscribed. So go like and subscribe right now. Go do it right now. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Big red button. Click it. Like button. Click it.
You want more Waterboy content? More
click
Waterboy
it,
analytics?
Click it. Click it. All right.
More Waterboy shorts? Subscribe.
Click it. There you go. Thank you. All right. Let's get into the episode. All right. Everett. A horrible weekend for us. A horrible weekend for us in terms of the
You
NFL.
can put it that way. A little bit more than horrible.
We both experienced awful, horrible losses in polar opposite ways.
I just experienced a horrible letdown, really.
They give you completely different feelings afterwards, but the two worst losses of the week, of course, happened to both of our teams. So yeah, there's that, but we're going to save the NFL for the end. But other than the NFL,
a little teaser though.
It was a great weekend to be a Trojan. It was a great weekend to be a USC fan, taking down UCLA. And I didn't think the game was going to live up to all that hype. I really didn't think it was going to be as great as it was. But in the second half, like late second quarter, when the defenses just stopped playing, oh my God. That's all you could ask
for. That second half was just unbelievable.
All you could ask for. And
like
big game. So
we were talking about that, like one of our, because I'll just state that people can't read properly or count properly. One of our TikToks right now is blowing up based off of a projection I had of CJ Stroud for last week. Obviously, rivalry week is in full swing, so Michigan fans are now angry and they can't count properly either. So they're thinking that the projections for next week, and they're also talking about
slightly off from
they're also just talking about how me saying the Heisman candidacy for CJ Stroud is just wildly inaccurate, and people are dropping Caleb Williams. We basically said, and it's on record of you saying that the winner of Michigan and Ohio State, they will win the Heisman Trophy, either CJ Stroud or Blake Corum. But after last week's UCLA USC game, Caleb Williams is coming into picture right now. He could be a sneaky, just depending on the way this weekend
I'm going to go over it later in a sec, but I think he should be the favorite right now. And I actually don't think it's up to the winner of Ohio State, Michigan. I think it now depends on winner of that game and winner of USC Notre Dame and how well the players play. I think it's now a race.
Also,
Before,
keep in mind,
I didn't really think it was, but now it is.
Notre Dame is an 8-3 team, but as of late, they've been playing way better than an 8-3 team. So
no, we're gonna be getting
it's gonna be a tough
also, but we're not doing much preview today. More of a reaction to the weekend.
This week's episode schedule it's in flux. We've got a special episode coming out on Thursday. So our kind of weekly schedule for episodes is a little off. It's a little off.
Yeah, slightly off. But Everett, we're recording this on Monday, November 21st, opening day, or I guess day 2 of the World Cup. And Everett's repping the boys right now. Love to see it, red, white, and blue. So earlier in the game, of course, Captain America Pulisic linking up with Timothy Weah, hitting a nice little cheeky little goal.
Don't forget that they almost had an own goal on Wales too very early on. They were looking like they were gonna take the lead there too.
No, yeah, I mean, based off the first half, I thought like, holy shit, we're actually about to win like 2-3-0. But obviously, it didn't happen. All I gotta say though, second half, I don't actually know shit about soccer, but that penalty call late. That penalty call late in the game was just straight bullshit match fixing by the ref. There was no contact to the head or neck area, nor was there a lowering of the crown by the defensive player. It was definitely not targeting. Should have been a no penalty. I don't know why they called that a penalty. It was completely clean. There was no targeting.
I will also add that there was, I believe it was a massive shove on Wales onto Pulisic, that they just ruled that was completely clean, which is complete BS.
I mean, there was like both sides pretty shit reffing, but it's just like I was like, God damn, zero. Like, what the hell was going on?
I mean,
was like,
it was early it was late in the first half too. Wales, like the ball was going out of bounds, and a Wales player shoved a U.S. player into touching the ball, and the ball went out. Like, just little things.
It's the little things, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like the second half, the U.S. played like a bunch of little.
Yeah, I did expect.
Bus
I did expect
babying up, turtling up, and I was like, God, I mean, obviously you can't just be like, well, why didn't you just play like you were in the first half? But like, part of me was like, yeah, just play like you were in the first half. Like,
I also I expected. I don't really know much about soccer, but I expected, and yes, it is soccer. I expected Wales to play a lot more on ball, like way more aggressive. Like they basically turned up the button in FIFA. They turned it from normal to highly aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I can't
attack.
really give you any insight when it comes to that, but yeah, that was my take on the World Cup. Wasn't targeting. But okay, college football, Everett. Horrible news. So we're recording this on Monday, but some big leaks and rumors just came out that will be officially
going up tomorrow.
Officially announced tomorrow morning that EA Sports is announcing that NCAA football will be delayed until 2024. The only reaction I have, Everett, is God damn it, EA.
Can't have anything nice.
I mean, I know EA has the NFL deal and they have the licensings for that, but they still have it for college too. Like, I mean, 2K NCAA 2K. Come on. Now that'd be something.
2K would do
that
it right.
Story mode would be hilarious.
Literally I know 2K
you accept money from a bag man. Get suspended your first year. It would be so funny. It'd be hilarious. I hope they do something like that. I wouldn't put it past 2K, but just disappointing. But I mean, I don't expect anything less from.
Don't expect anything less from EA Sports, the money grabbing corporation we all know and love to hate because they make every single video game we play absolutely dog shit.
Yeah, not a good look. Not what I wanted. Definitely not.
I fully expect this game to be worse because they have an extra year to work on it rather than being better. I think the longer the game is in EA's hands, the worse it gets through the development cycle.
Potentially so. We'll see what happens. I mean, maybe they redeem themselves. I'm not betting on it, but
terrible disappointment.
We'll just have to wait and see.
It's terrible.
Another year, actually.
So who's going to be the cover athlete then?
I don't know. They can make it current. They can make it, I guess, at the time, active college football players because they can get
the cover athlete should be every single athlete that was not able to be on an NCAA game for the last.
Now they'd have to put 10 people on.
It's got to be
10 years since NCAA 14.
So
maybe that's what they're doing.
Number.
They want it to be an even 10,
an even decade.
Instead of going from 14 to 23, just go.
My God, it's been a decade. It'll be Marvin Harrison Jr. Maybe Marvin on.
Well, he won't be in college for that 2024 season.
I guess he's eligible after next year, right?
It wouldn't even be Quinn Ewers or Caleb Williams. It would be Arch Manning. Arch Manning.
It will be Arch Manning.
Arch Manning. Book it right now. Cover of NCAA Football 2024. Oh my God! What if they delayed it? So Arch Manning
can be
now
deal.
The conspiracy
NIL deal
now
for
they all
NCAA.
Now you might be onto something. I didn't even think of that.
Bigger
now, Everett. Now I actually that might
NIL deal for the cover of
Manning's on the cover of it. Holy shit!
NIL deal.
You fucking nip that shit out. I actually kind of think that's potentially on.
It could be it. Low key, not even low key. Like high, mid key. Could be.
Just key. Yeah, just key.
Key.
No, I mean, we'll have to wait and find out. But all right,
that might be a good clip right there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll see. But okay, college football recap time, Everett. Timer.
Oh, yes. Oh, God. All right. Are you gonna do better than last week? Because we kind of had a doozy last week. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, gonna do it good. It's good. It's gonna be way better this week. Also, that new timer. Talk about a retention time king. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Especially on YouTube. We just got our most viewed YouTube short off, literally, in my opinion, the 30-second timer. I swear that was the reason. That was the reason. But no, I mean, big brain moves. But all right, tell me.
Waterboy analytics. 3, 2, 1, go.
Last Saturday was a reminder to everyone that college football is the craziest and most unpredictable sport on earth. Tennessee got bludgeoned by Spencer Rattler in South Carolina. TCU barely pulled off a last-second field goal over Baylor to stay undefeated. Georgia did not look like the clear-cut best team in the country against Kentucky. Ohio State and Michigan both struggled against Maryland and Illinois before their undefeated matchup next week. But the USC-UCLA game lived up to all the hype in an instant classic shootout.
You had 3 seconds left.
Got through that shit quick. I tried adding more stuff also when I was going over that. There was literally no other game that I cared about that would have been noteworthy about the last week before conference championship week.
We embarrassed SMU on national TV.
But it was on Thursday. Time has passed so long.
It's a little long.
You know,
we'll just have to do it again on this Friday. It's
gotta, you know, we got to be topical with these posts, Everett.
Yeah, so I got it. I understand.
First thing that I want to start with before I want to talk about USC.
Oh, you know what? You know what you forgot? UCF got embarrassed by Navy.
Oh yeah, that was pretty funny. Not gonna lie,
that was pretty bad.
That was pretty.
Without
bad.
Navy throwing, they didn't complete a pass the whole game. They had one pass attempt, and Navy won.
Yeah, no, what wasn't the greatest look, but yeah, okay. First thing I want to say, rest in peace, Tennessee. It was a great season. I personally was rooting for Tennessee. I made a talk a while
America's
ago
favorite.
saying America deserves to see Tennessee versus Ohio State in the college football playoff. That won't be happening. It's brutal to be a Tennessee fan right now. And Hendon Hooker tore his ACL out for the season. Prayers up, brother. Hoping for you to get better. Obviously, you hate to see it, especially for a guy who's also, as everyone is well aware by now, a little bit older than your typical college quarterback. Definitely will harm his draft stock. Hopefully it doesn't do it that, but I think Hendon Hooker's a baller. Before the season started, I was one of his biggest cheerleaders. So
he's gonna go in the 6th round.
No, I think he's definitely gonna drop heavily now, but damn, I really like him as a player a lot. I did not like to see that. But
good guy though.
Yeah, brutal to be a Tennessee fan. In my opinion, one of the most brutal ways. It kind of shows how vicious and brutal the sport of college football is. They got that first number one seed in the college football rankings, were undefeated, and then the wheels just came rolling off immediately.
They came more than rolling, dude. Like they exploded off the car.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For a lack of words.
I don't really know. Brutal. Just very, very rough to be a Tennessee fan. North Carolina also got upset. Drake May rip his Heisman hopes. Those are done for. But
yeah, also just want to shout out everybody who was talking about how Drake May is like the Heisman favorite on our TikToks. Yeah, shut up.
Yeah. Worry about what was it? Georgia Tech first. Yeah. But okay. This is a nice mini segue into USC UCLA. We'll talk a little Heisman talk. So last week, I'll be honest, I did not think. I kind of thought, okay. I'll be honest, I kind of thought UCLA was going to beat USC last week. And so with that, I was kind of thinking like, Caleb probably won't be in the Heisman race. It'll just be down to Stroud and Corum. But we see Blake Corum with his knee injury ACL, which I still think he's playing. We're going to save that for the next episode, but obviously that's going to impact it. Like that's just obviously going to impact his play in his biggest game of season against, like, that's the
biggest game of his career.
We talk about Heisman moments. We talk about performing on the biggest stage when everyone's watching. That's when you really make your Heisman statement, when you really show up in those games. And if Blake Corum's not going to be 100% in that, that's obviously going to harm his Heisman chances. But I still think he's playing in that game. Anyway, after what Caleb did to like lead USC over UCLA, oh yeah, he should be and is to a lot of like betting websites.
A lot of people besides Vegas
now, and I think it makes sense. He should be the favorite right now. And to be
completely
completely honest,
odds,
I'm way more confident in Caleb Williams putting up like 400 yards and 3 touchdowns next week against Notre Dame than I am Ohio State against Michigan. Like, I'm way more confident in Caleb doing that. However, we're gonna save this for next week too, or next episode too. But Notre Dame's a way different team than they were the team that lost to Marshall and Stanford earlier this year. So, I mean, Notre Dame really should be 10-1 right now. God damn it. And they would look so good on Ohio State's record. Oh my God. But whatever. And if Notre Dame was 10-1, they'd have a really, really, really good argument to be in the playoff too. Especially right now after Tennessee lost.
If they beat USC too, yes, they would. They would be. And I told you
Clemson. What if Notre Dame could potentially lose to Ohio State, the Big Ten champ, and then beat the ACC and Pac-12 champ? Like that could have been their resume, and they definitely would have got in. 100%.
I texted you this yesterday, I believe.
Damn, Notre Dame.
I said that because USC beat UCLA because of that game.
Yeah.
If USC beats Notre Dame this week, if USC beats Notre Dame this week,
yeah,
the loser of Michigan Ohio State will be out of the playoffs. USC will be the 4 seed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Georgia, Ohio State.
Let's not even
TCU,
conjure the thought
USC.
of USC losing the Pac-12 championship game. That's just not even an option. And also, I just want to say, UCLA, Notre Dame, and Oregon is like the toughest stretch in USC's schedule. They just got through the first leg. They got 2 more to go. Obviously, I'm confident
and most likely a repeat.
Right now, and the defense stepped up when they needed to.
Most likely a repeat matchup with Oregon, unless Washington beats the brakes off of.
USC hasn't played Oregon this year yet.
No, they haven't. Okay, so then I guess not a repeat matchup.
USC, their one loss was to Utah, but Oregon just beat
Utah. It was a one
losses now there.
It was a 1-score game though, like 1 point, right? They lost
USC.
by 1.
They actually clinched the Pac-12 last week because they're playing Notre Dame next week, and they're not in the Pac. So USC already clinched Pac-12. But yeah, okay.
But still, USC needs only if they lose another game, then they're not making it.
But it's like
if they win, they will make it.
But yeah, for like my quick little Heisman thoughts, it's like if Caleb Williams beats Notre Dame, USC beats Notre Dame's, and then Caleb
essentially
Williams puts
up
just 400. Yeah, essentially it is. But if he puts up 400 yards again, it doesn't even need to be 5 touchdowns. It could be 2 touchdowns. As long as it's just 400 yards again, and they win, I think just based on that, he should be the favorite. And I think there's a pretty good chance that happens. So let's say that happens. For CJ to win the Heisman, he literally needs to Superman performance, have a Heisman moment against Michigan. Maybe, but in order for that to happen,
this is what I will say.
Ohio State win, which is what I'd rather see.
Caleb Williams has had his Heisman moment. That game last week, the USC UCLA game, that game was his Heisman game.
But he has an opportunity to do it again.
But let me finish. Caleb Williams has his Heisman moment from the USC UCLA game. CJ Stroud does not yet have his Heisman moment.
No, that is true. But the thing is, he's done. I mean, a pretty poor. Well, he could have had a Heisman moment against Penn State, didn't. So went 0 for 1.
But I'm saying
Notre Dame, well, really early in the season, that's not a high.
But I'm saying that shifts the argument. You
Kind of, but the thing is,
need
both
to have
opportunities to have Heisman moments again.
No. I know that. And I'm not saying that like this week CJ Stroud needs to have his Heisman moment, and if he doesn't, Caleb Williams already has that. Caleb Williams already has that.
No, yeah, I definitely think it's Caleb's Heisman to lose, but CJ has a bigger platform to perform on next week. So, but I'm saying like if Ohio State drops 60 on Michigan, which I don't think will happen, but if that then yeah, CJ's one. Like that's locked up, brother. I don't think that.
I agree. I agree with that. I more so was just looking at what's already been completed besides what has yet to happen.
No, yeah, but I mean, also it's just like if you just think about if you just look at stats and numbers, it's like Caleb's last 4 games are hilarious,
unreal.
But yeah, okay, let's talk USC UCLA real quick. Most important and meaningful game last 15 years, lived up to all the hype. Oh my God. Everett, first fun fact. There were 1,162 total yards of offense in this game. No defense played.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely no defense played in this one. And going into this game, I wasn't sure how USC would stop UCLA's run game. But in the second half,
that was the answer.
They didn't. They didn't. But in the second half, in situational specific moments, they did get really big stops, which I literally haven't seen all year.
They got pressure.
No. The pass rush was very good. It's just the run defense is just
terrible.
A nightmare the whole year. But there was a healthy amount of 1 or 2 yard, 3 yard carries in that second half to stall or halt the UCLA drives, get them off schedule, where it's I did not think we'd be able to do that. And we did. And that helped a lot. And DTR's hand not being able to grip it definitely helped, having them in 3rd and longs, even though DTR could just run around our players and just pick it up with his legs. But whatever, that's something.
It is just hard to run it even with your quarterback when you have such a little time left on the clock.
No, yeah, of course. Now, we're going to talk about Caleb and DTR a little bit more, but I want to shout out Austin Jones. Transfer running back from Stanford, thrusted into the starting running back role last week after Travis Dye got hurt, and he was outstanding, okay? 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. Offensive line also played their ass off. Offensive line blocking was so good. Oh my God, beautiful. But I want to shout out Austin Jones for just suddenly having to just start biggest games of the year for USC. All right, son, you're the running back now. Come on. That's baller performance.
Also, I want to make this statement too, by the way. In the NFL, running backs are the most replaceable position in football. In the NFL. In college, they are one of the most difficult positions to replace to do well. They are so important in college. It is so difficult to have a good running back, and having a good running back on your team in college makes an incredible difference with how good your team will be.
It's in college, it's just individual players have an opportunity to shine more. So it's when you just have an impact guy at running back, it's that when they can make 2 guys miss, that's
the average running, having a running back, every running back in the NFL can make men miss. Every running back in the NFL, they all can do basically the same thing, minus the very top echelon of Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, those
the freak
top,
athletes,
right? The freak athletes, Derrick Henry, right? You can't replicate size that kind of thing, but you can replicate skill set for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
In college, you can't do that. There's no comparison for those starting running backs. If you have a starting running back in college football that is athletic, he deserves to be there, your team instantaneously is 50 times better because you have that running back.
Yeah, I would say
the difference, obviously,
from the Ohio State perspective, I think Ohio State fans clearly saw the difference when Hayden came in over Trevion, and we had a running back that actually ran, north and south. That helps to pick up yards when you
Chad said, and we agree with him, Chad's argument, the trenches are the most important thing in college football. I'd argue the second most important thing behind them is a running back.
Perhaps. I'd personally have to go with quarterback. That's just me.
But here's the thing. You can argue that, and then we can look at games like we saw this weekend where teams didn't throw the ball at all, and they still beat top programs in college football.
Everett, my example is take out Georgia last year, who had the greatest defense ever. Every college football champion has had phenomenal.
No, I understand that, but I am still
definitely
saying
quarterback over running back. Come on.
I am still saying that teams are
running
able
back
to
still
win
very
without,
important.
without
I like the point. I'm still with you. Don't get me wrong. But we got to give that one to the QB. Come on. Gotta give that. But okay, anyway, speaking about quarterbacks, before I go kind of fanboy over Caleb Williams, I want to shout out DTR, absolute baller. Okay, last year when he signed a USC fans football in the end zone after he scored a rushing touchdown, like in the second quarter in the Coliseum, that was one of the coldest moments I've ever watched in person. Seeing DTR sign a USC fans football, okay. Even I had to admit that was pretty fucking hype. Okay. And in that game on Saturday, DTR was literally putting the team on his back to keep UCLA in the game. Like, he hurt that throwing hand early in the game. Like, literally after every throw, Joel Klatt was distracted. He's grimacing so bad. I hate that word, but you could tell like his hand was bothering him, and that's just a football guy move. Just stay in there, tough it out, and keep UCLA in the game the whole time. And he was still making crazy throws.
It's just, an athlete.
Just literally just a ball player. But now Caleb Williams. Caleb should be the favorite to win the Heisman now. Should be, and he is on a lot of places. The one thing that really stuck out to me about Caleb was how good he is on the run, evading defenders, extending plays, and just like being able to just keep drives going. Like, this man, when shit breaks down and shit hits the fan, he just runs in like circles, kind of like Kyler Murray. I'm not comparing him to Kyler, but it's like, it reminds me of that, and how he just like runs in circles like a little tiny little mouse running around.
Russ kind of does the same thing.
Yeah, but he just evades all the defenders, just makes stupid throws on the run, just extending drives. And I wish CJ Stroud had a little more Caleb Williams athleticism to him.
CJ Stroud doesn't do it all the time, but through looking for highlights of him
recently, he's been
doing it a lot. Like, I've seen a lot of times where the pressure comes in and he runs out to the side, makes a running throw, or he runs out the side.
Doing a lot more,
Then he runs back out, and like, I think that skill set's going to be very useful come playoff time.
No, yeah, I do think though Caleb's just a little.
Oh no, Caleb's way more athletic than CJ
Oh my God, like what Caleb was doing, just running circles around the UCLA guys. And also part of me was thinking, just damn, if UCLA had some skill guys, like, geez, that game would have been, because I did not know any. I'm not sure if they have any NFL draft prospects at skill position.
UCLA or USC?
UCLA. If DTR, I think I might have misspoke there, but if DTR had some weapons, like, that game could have gone differently. Like, thank God USC has a Jordan Addison.
I agree with that.
No, yeah, but that's kind of all I had on that game. What else you got on college football?
Okay, so I actually had a question for you, and this is something I'm going to ask you now rather than save it for Thursday. I saw a picture the other day of Ohio State, their equipment staff, taping over the Ohio State helmets.
I was going to bring this up in the episode later, but
and yellow tape to make Michigan helmets. So why do they do that? Like, what's the point of that?
I was going to explain it on the next episode, but screw it. I'll just do it now. So Ohio State, Michigan week. Ohio State has a lot of many traditions. just for the week leading up to the game, things that they do on campus. So first big tradition is every single M on the campus, they will get red tape and put an X over it. Every single M. So if there's a building with an M, somebody's got a ladder up there, put a tape over it. If there's a bunch of statues with tiny little writing, tiny little X's on each little M, on like literally every M on the campus will be covered up with X's. And I'm pretty sure that starts today, Monday. And that's just a school-wide thing. That's not like a football only thing. That's everywhere on campus. In terms of football team itself, so they have a ton of traditions. So Sunday tradition, have a team captain like lead the band, or like a senior. It was CJ for this year, but he like qualifies as a senior, whatever. But the cool one that you're referring to is the helmets. So scout team players for the Michigan game wear the disgusting, fucking gross maize, and I'm not even going to give them the credit of saying it correctly, disgusting yellow and shitty blue helmets with their crappy little wing things. The scout team wears those helmets, and throughout the whole week in the stadium, they're blasting Michigan's fight song, full volume, as loud as it gets throughout the whole fucking stadium, 24/7, wherever you go. You're just hearing the Michigan fight song. And the whole week, it's all Michigan week. Okay. So leading up to this week, there is one period every single day throughout every single practice throughout the year. There's one period called Michigan period, where they run their specific Michigan design shit that is only for the Michigan game. So every single year, Michigan, Ohio State whips out a bunch of shit that neither team has seen the entire year, and it's a whole different playbook. It's the funniest shit of all time, actually. Like, obviously, you got your bread and butter, but Ohio State's going to whip out some fucking whack-ass tight end rollout, like, shit, and you're literally going to be like, I've never even considered that play in my life. And it happens every year. And so there's a Michigan period every day where, yeah, they go over their little gimmicky shit, but it's also just like the aggressive fucking hit period. Like, you're hitting someone right now. Michigan game, especially after last year, it's literally, that game is about who wants it more. Whichever team wants to win more wins that game. That's pretty much how it's been for the past, I don't know, 15 years that I've been like really, really been able to remember every game closely. It's just whoever wants to win it more wins the game. And so I think especially after last year, we're going to find out. Maybe that loss to Michigan was the most important loss for Ryan Day in his Ohio State career, because that got him to pick it up. Based off the past couple weeks, we can't say that with confidence.
Maybe he's just been saving it. Maybe he's just been saving everything.
That's what I'm hoping, Everett. That's what I'm fucking hoping.
But I'm not gonna lie, it does kind of sound like they live rent free in each other's heads.
So yeah, we're, to be honest, we've been talking about college football a lot. I might say
we'll transition, but there's one thing that I know you wanted to say specifically.
I want to do my college football rankings too. So
so let's do both of those. Okay. So real quick, and I'll set this up for you. You wanted to specifically talk about the Ohio State and Michigan rivalry.
Yeah, so this is no shit talking or anything. I'm actually giving a lot of respect to Michigan here. So first thing about the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry, although I hate Michigan with my life, I respect the shit out of Michigan, okay? Especially this year. Past couple years I haven't, I'm not going to lie. But especially this year, like, you respect your rival in this rivalry, okay? Michigan respects Ohio State. Ohio State respects Michigan. We both hate each other. Don't get that part wrong. But there's respect on each side, okay? You don't see Ohio State and Michigan fighting in the tunnels. You see it with Michigan State because there's zero respect there, okay? That's the difference. But that's the first thing. Okay, second thing, Ohio State and Michigan is the greatest rivalry in all of sports, okay? It is the only rivalry that truly lasts 365 days a year, okay? Everybody who's an Ohio State fan and everybody who's a Michigan fan literally wakes up every morning, especially after a year where they lost the game. You wake up every morning only wanting to beat Ohio or beating Michigan, okay? That's the only thing on your mind. That's it. Also, okay, that the first point, just how big it is, 365 days a year. My next point, okay? Ohio State, Michigan is such a great and storied rivalry that I'm not afraid to admit that Michigan lives rent-free in my head, okay? Every morning, especially after last year, I literally wake up and one of my first thoughts is, God damn it, we need to beat Michigan this year. I cannot lose to Michigan again. I cannot take another year of losing to Michigan. I just can't do it. I literally think that almost every morning. And the amount of times I've seen 42-27, I don't even want to count. But it's every single day that hatred is there. Every single day. Okay. There literally is not a day of the year where I don't think of Michigan or Ohio State and that rivalry game in some fashion. So it's a 365-day rivalry. Okay. It's truly built on hatred, but also respect. Okay, you don't see bad shit going on. Obviously, there's shit talking, but nothing horrible. You don't see Steelers, Bengals trying to kill each other on the field. But yeah, that was that's my opinion on why it's the greatest rivalry in all of sports.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen Antonio Brown cleating one of your kickers in the face or vice versa. So
no. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, though, that is one of my favorite NFL moments of all time. But yeah, okay. That's what I got on college football. Okay, real quick, gonna give my college football playoff rankings before the NFL recap, and then we're gonna get into the depressing part of the episode. But okay, college football playoff rankings, Everett. A lot of things are gonna change up after last week. Tennessee losing, Oregon. No, Oregon won, not Oregon. Tennessee losing. Fuck. Who's the other top 10 team? Oh, I guess Utah was in that 10 spot. Okay. Well, anyway, fuck it. I got my list. I'm not looking at last week's. All right. Here's my update. I'm giving my top 10 this week because like the first four is like kind of predictable. I don't think anything's changing. No surprise there. But all right. Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, TCU, LSU, USC, Alabama, Clemson, Penn State, or no, Washington. That's my top
10. Even with Oregon beating Utah.
So yeah, Oregon beat Utah, of course, but Washington 2 weeks ago. Okay, not 4 weeks ago, not a long time ago, 2 weeks ago, very recently, went into Oregon and beat them.
Yeah, I can't really argue against that. Like my whole argument is kind of recency bias, obviously based off.
That's as recent as it gets.
That's as recent as it gets. So, yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's just they beat them in Oregon.
In Oregon.
Like that's got to carry something, man. Like that's got to matter. Like what?
Yeah, I can't argue against that.
The funny thing is though, Oregon is still ranked ahead of Washington in the Pac-12 because Oregon has only one Pac-12 loss to Washington because their other loss came to Georgia, but Washington has 2 Pac-12 losses. So Oregon's still ahead of them. Oregon will play in the Pac-12 conference championship still. So yeah.
Have they only played like how many? Have they not played like a lot of Pac-12 games?
No, they have. There's only one left. Oregon's got Oregon State next week, which I mean, after losing last week, shit, the wheels of the wagon might really fall off.
They just haven't played any of the good teams in the Pac-12. Is what it sounds like.
Oregon,
yeah,
they lost to UCLA. Wait, no, they didn't. That was Utah. No, yeah, they didn't, or they beat UCLA. But
gotcha. Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay.
NFL time.
NFL recap. We'll get the shit over with. All right. This was the one that did really well. It wasn't the college. It was the NFL recap that did really well. I was like, what? That 30-second timer, Everett, I swear. I swear to God. There's no way the content was great in that last one.
I already know what's coming.
Trust me. Like, I clown my team more than yours in this. I will clown more than yours.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Even though most of the game itself was horrible, Marcus Jones had the most exciting play of the weekend with his punt return touchdown. Jalen Hurts and the Birds railed back a 10-point comeback in Indy to beat the Colts. You'd think the Broncos would beat a team who lost to Jeff Saturday last week, but no, the Raiders got a dub in Broncos country. I don't really care about the result of the Bills-Browns game, but it's just a damn shame that we didn't get to watch that play in a 5-foot snow blizzard in Buffalo. And it was a very sad weekend for the Waterboy pod. Everett's Vikings got smoked at home by the Cowboys, and my Chargers ripped my heart out again for the 1,000th time in my life.
About 5 seconds over.
Yeah, well, I stuttered on the Jalen.
I was letting that run either way, but that might be an in post redo.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know why the last 2 weeks you've been able to kill the college football recap, and the NFL recap's been a little stagnant.
I think you guys can see which sport I was paying a little more close attention to over the weekend. But okay. Some NFL quick NFL reaction news before we get to the stuff.
Kill me.
So first things first, Everett, the Canadian Football League Grey Cup. So like the Super Bowl of the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, I know Chad Kelly. Chad Kelly won
Kelly
that.
And Sean Oakman won.
Sean Oakman? Like Baylor?
Mm-hmm. So it was worth mentioning.
He's still big?
It was, yeah.
He's still a very big human being.
But it was worth mentioning. So yeah.
I didn't know Sean Oakman.
Next thing, quick little shout out, Jameson Williams has returned to practice today, my baby boy. But okay, cool stuff. The Jets coin is still correct, Everett. Okay, the Jets coin is still right. Okay, they have not gotten a pick wrong. And coming up on this Jets coin, they have a loss to the Bears next week, and then they go on a 5-game winning streak, Everett.
Versus one team included. Mine.
So I'm just saying, Everett, personally, I want this coin to win, but I know if I follow the picks, I will jinx it. So I'm going to purposely fade all of the coin's picks for the rest of the year with my picks so it hits.
I'm not going to lie.
If that record, I'm helping out the coin.
That record, even if it's just the regular season record, if that record holds true, that coin has to go to Canton. No, it's going to literally. Canton. It's going to the Hall of Fame.
That was why the Jets got there. Wasn't Zach Wilson? Ask Zach Wilson's teammates. They won't tell you it was him.
I mean, fuck. Okay, Zach Wilson would think it would be him though, because apparently Zach Wilson thinks that having less completions than punts means that you were playing well that game.
Did he actually have less completions than?
He had 9 completions. They punted 10 times.
Okay, I didn't know it was that bad. Okay, we got to talk about what he said after the game. So someone asked him, with the defense only giving up 3 points, you guys only scoring 3, do you feel like you let the defense down? And he answers, no.
He's like, no other words. He's like, no, scratch his face.
And there were some rumors going around from some like Jets insiders saying that obviously, no surprise here, pissed off some of his teammates.
I would be so pissed. So
fucking pissed.
So pissed.
When Josh Allen loses, he says it's hard to win games when your quarterback plays like shit. You know, like Josh Allen stands up to it, takes the loss.
He goes, we would have won if I had been able to throw in the ball a little bit better. He's like, that's me.
Literally all he had to say was, yeah, how to play wasn't up to our expectations. There's no way 3 points is good in his book. Like, get out of here, dude.
I mean, Zach Wilson does really suck so much ass. Maybe 3 points is more than what he averages on you. Like,
maybe that was higher than his expectations.
Like, it could be higher than what his expectations were. Like, Jesus.
Maybe like it'd be really funny.
You know they average.
It'd be really funny if he's like, no, that was the special team's fault for giving up. That'd be so funny.
Per play, the Jets offense averaged 2.7 inches per play. 2.7 inches per play.
Wait, so yeah, no, they had what, like 100 yards?
I don't even know if they had 100.
No, I remember Garrett. Like there was a Garrett Wilson after the game was like, completely unacceptable performance by the offense. We need to be way better. That was, but his quarterback saying no, it's that was fine.
Fully 100. If
literally Zach Wilson,
you tell me right now,
like actually
the Jets. Reminder: the Jets could have had Justin Fields could have had JF1. If the Jets have Justin Fields right now,
Trey Lance could have just been healthy. Well, now if Trey Lance is on the Jets, he literally would be out of the NFL right now with he would have had his leg amputated by now. He played for the Jets.
If Justin Fields was on the Jets right now, they still have the same record, but holy crap, they're a way better team because that offense can actually function.
No, literally, they'd actually have a chance of winning some playoff.
Look, this is what I'm saying. We can go back and look at this in 3-4 months. Zach Wilson will not be the quarterback for the New York Jets after this year. He will not be on the roster for the New York Jets after this year.
Well, this is the thing that a lot of Jets fans were saying. Our management's so shitty, he might still be here next year.
And the Jets, even if he's still on the roster, the Jets quarterback next year will be Derek Carr.
Oh my God. I'm personally in the fandom of Derek Carr to the Colts. But
I have seen that as well. I've seen that as well, but I think Robert Saleh might
be the Colts 29-year-old plus quarterback next year. We'll find out.
All right, but
oh my God. I think I don't stop will be in Indy before he retires. 100%. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Dude, where all old quarterbacks go to retire.
Literally.
It's a retirement home.
Yeah, you get one season of them, and then you're.
They might get Mariota after this year. Who knows?
Wentz also qualifies as an old hat.
Jameis,
so yeah.
Jameis might be there. Jameis might be there. Might be. Andy Dalton might make a resurgence after this year. He might have it there.
We'll have to find out. But
okay. One thing that I wanted to say though, I mean, Zach Wilson won't be on the Jets roster after this year. I was in my car listening to the radio because my car is just terrible and it doesn't automatically switch to my phone. So I was just listening to the radio because I'm too lazy.
Okay.
And the radio comes up and they're talking about Tom Brady. They specifically mention Tom Brady originally going to the Raiders. Before he signed with the Bucs, Tom Brady had a deal in place confirmed by both Dana White, UFC, from UFC, and Rob Gronkowski, that Tom Brady had
I've heard about
had a done deal. Yeah. Yes, had a done deal to the Raiders, but John Gruden said no. Tom Brady's contract expires after this season. Josh McDaniels is the head coach of the Raiders. Derek Carr has not been playing well. They have Devontae Adams. They have all the pieces on offense. It's almost looking perfectly set up for Tom Brady to go to Las Vegas and take that team. They don't need a head coach.
To do that,
Tom Brady is always the head coach. He's the head coach. He needs somebody to call plays, and that's exactly what Josh McDaniels does.
It's not even that. He just needs his offensive coordinator to scout the other defense during the week, and Tom still does the plays and shit. But he just needs you to give him the scouting report.
I don't think Derek Carr is going to be the quarterback for the Raiders after this year. And I think that it almost makes sense that, Tom Brady wants to go to the 49ers, but I don't think that's going to happen. So it almost perfectly makes sense that he's going to end up in Las Vegas. He's going to have an Elvis ending.
Oh, God, you're going to say he's going to poop himself to death?
Hopefully not that. Hopefully not that way. More so on the brighter side of Elvis being in.
That was an interesting celebrity or.
Well, because he had residence, he was the first residency.
No, I know, I was kidding, but the first thing I could think of, man, shit himself to death. But
rest in peace, Elvis.
All right, speaking about shitting yourself to death, let's talk about teams. You want to talk about your team first or my team?
I'll talk about my team. I'll get it out of the way. Oh! Actually, I did miss one thing.
Oh, you want to roast me first? Okay.
No, I'm still on Zach Wilson. Okay. This is from CBS, NFL and CBS, so it's
shit. Yeah, no, the Chargers suck.
They also suck. But this is a comparison between Zach Wilson and Jamarcus Russell, the biggest NFL bust in NFL history.
Let's hear it.
Through their first 20 career starts, Zach Wilson 70.7.
Jamarcus Russell had 20 starts.
Yes.
Wow.
Through 20 career starts, Zach Wilson has a 70.7 passer rating, a 13-16 TD to interception rating, 55.6% completion percentage, 6.3 yards per attempt, and a record of 8-12. Jamarcus Russell.
That's how good the Jets are. That's how good
Jamarcus
their
Russell.
team is. Oh my God.
70.6 passer rating, so only less by 0.1. An TD to interception ratio of 15 to 13, better. A completion percentage of 52.1, not much lower. Yards per attempt,
different eras. You should have a much higher completion percentage.
Yards per attempt, 6.2, 0.1 less, and a win-loss of 6 and 14. Only 2 losses less on a much worse team.
The Jets are, well, the thing is, I honestly have no idea who's on the Raiders when Jamarcus Russell was there. I literally cannot think of who their skill guys were. But Zach Wilson has a Garrett.
Yeah. So I think Jamarcus Russell. No, he didn't have Terrell Parker.
He didn't have Randy Moss. No,
he wasn't there for Randy.
No. So yeah.
But still,
that would be hilarious though. Jamarcus to Randy.
Yeah, no, Zach Wilson is almost as bad, if not as bad as Jamarcus Russell, who is the biggest bust in NFL history.
Yeah, we'll leave that up for you guys to decide.
But yeah, so I was at this game. I can now say I've been to a historic game in NFL history.
Let's just say you'll never forget that one.
I will never forget. Neither will my bank account. Worst loss at home.
What are you insinuating for that last comment on your bank account? Were you boozing in there? Depression?
No, the ticket I was driving, but the tickets cost a pretty penny for NFL, even for nosebleeds, and I was in the nosebleeds.
Oh yeah, Vikings tickets
on a college budget.
Your stadium's also nice.
It is nice. So, but just I was there for the worst home loss in 50 years. It was the biggest loss point-wise in 50 years.
Jesus. That is...
I'm not going to lie. Like, I would sit here and mope around. But, like, at some point, like, it's such a bad loss. And we're 8-2. Like, boo-hoo, I'm 8-2. Like, what? Like, I'm not going to sit here and whine about it. I'm 8-2. We still have a great rest of the season. Like, we can finish it up and still be fine. The Eagles look like dog shit, so I'm not necessarily concerned. Shouldn't have won versus the Colts, and Nick Sirianni celebrating when they beat the Colts by 1 point. Like,
oh yeah, I saw a hilarious meme of the TikTok meme where it's like, it's the aloe black girl. You could tell everybody.
Yeah, it's
the Eagles celebrating on this.
My God,
after beating a
look. The only thing that I'm going to say is very difficult to win a game when your run defense is basically paper. You're having holes. It's Swiss cheese. There's holes everywhere. They're going straight up the middle, and it's like it's hard to do that. It's also hard when your offensive line. You're down 2 starters at a point in this game. You're down Darisaw within the first.
How early
quarter.
did he get out?
Like first quarter.
Yeah. So that was
the problem. And also like they were trying to have Darisaw block Micah Parsons for like 8 seconds. Like that's never going to work. Nobody's going to be able to block Micah Parsons for 8 seconds.
I honestly am not sure how many tackles can block anyone for 8 seconds.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like that's all bad. Like Kirk Cousins was getting pressured on 63% of his dropbacks.
Oh yeah, I saw that number.
For reference, when Patrick Mahomes was playing the Super Bowl versus the Bucs, that game where he was getting hit left and right, that was 37%. Kirk Cousins was getting pressured on almost double that.
Yeah,
that's how hard that they were playing. And the only thing that I'm gonna say is like we played the Patriots Thursday. It's a Thursday night game, so Jesus Christ.
Quick turnaround. But honestly, that might be the best thing.
Kirk Cousins, please God, do not shit the bed on prime time. Just please. For once. But
yikes. Now you're scared of prime time.
Now it's back. But we haven't seen Kirko Chains on prime time yet. So we'll see. Lil Kirko. But here's the deal. I'm
not sure if Lil Kirko's destined for success without his left tackle.
Pray that Matthew
didn't KOC say that they're not playing?
He's out next week. Yes, they're holding him out next week. But the only thing that I'm going to say about this game, any Cowboys fans out there that are saying that Trayvon Diggs locked down Justin Jefferson, shut the fuck up. I was at the game.
Were people saying that?
Yes.
I honestly,
they're like Trayvon Diggs is Justin Jefferson's dad. Like so is Darius Slay. I was at the game. I watched. The only thing that I was able to do that to enjoy myself was watch Justin Jefferson work. That's the only thing I could do to have fun.
Just
Literally not 95%.
Spectacular performance on the field.
On 95% of his snaps, Trayvon Diggs' ankles got snapped, not broken, not executed, snapped in half by Justin Jefferson. If you look through all the film, and I'm telling you, if you're a Cowboys fan, you're about to argue with me, go look through the film. Justin Jefferson,
cut the tape, bro.
Justin Jefferson, and I will. If you're gonna still argue, I will go and do it. I'm going to. It's fraudulent. Like Justin Jefferson, wide open over the middle. Like the biggest problem was the fact that Kirk Cousins didn't have pocket time. If he had time, then he would like. Not to mention, don't forget that on the very first drive, Justin Jefferson, Trayvon Diggs has his arm inside of Justin Jefferson's pads, holding him back on a fade route.
That was a little PI. That was PI. And
so just want to say that
you couldn't hear, but the Romo, Romo was calling your guys' game, and he was saying, "Yeah, Diggs got away with a little tug there." Like,
yeah, I just the refs always suck for us. Like, home or away is always the same. But anybody, the specific point for this game, we're going to bounce back. We're going to be good. But if anybody thinks that Trayvon Diggs didn't get his ass worked last week, just because Justin Jefferson only had 33 receiving yards doesn't mean that he didn't beat the shit out of the corner. He had 3 targets, 33 receiving yards, 3 targets on what people consider as one of the best corners in the NFL. Shut the fuck up. He wasn't getting targets because he wasn't open.
Your yards because it just can't.
He wasn't getting targets because Kirk Cousins got sacked 7 times that game with a 63% pressure rate. It's pretty hard to get the ball to anybody at that point.
No, yeah, tough performance. Definitely with the O-line. Hopefully, you guys get that shit turned around.
That's my one thing. That's my one rant. That's my one rant. All right.
I have some more fun. I have one quick little fun fact for you, and then not so fun. But okay, here's the fun fact. And I saw you even post this. I saw the Vikings tech guy got trolled into uploading the GOAT, the everyman, the doctor, astronaut, physician, plumber, musician, teacher, doctor, surgeon, whatever. The GOAT, Johnny Sins on the Jumbotron. So part of me part of me thinks probably got trolled into doing that. But another part of me thinks the guy just knew who that was and was like, "Oh, 100% putting this up."
Well, so here's what happens. Viral. By the way, I'm going to take credit. I was literally the first person to realize that. It was on my story before it'd been anywhere on Twitter.
I saw it on your story and I was like, "Oh my God, that's fucking great."
It was on my story before it was anywhere on Twitter. So Waterboy Analytics.
Yeah. I mean, that's the shit you get at this podcast.
The thing is, it filters it by the hashtag. So, they don't do anything, and they didn't realize it. My friends and I were sitting there, and we were just waiting for it to come around every time. Because we knew it was about to come. We knew after what picture it was.
So, if you see, the hashtag skull
they, they filter it because they put up all, the pictures. So, it wasn't until, 5 minutes before kickoff, we were like, oh. And then, it just disappeared. We were like, all right, they figured it out.
I mean, that's great though. I'm kind of hoping that the tech guy knows that shit and did it as a joke. But Everett, I have a not so fun fact for you, but it's also a not very fun fact for me either.
Negative 2-point differential.
So Vikings have the lowest point differential of any 8-2 team since the 1970 merger, and they are also the only 8-2 team in that stretch of time to have a negative point differential in that stretch. But to make you feel better, the second lowest point differential of all time are the Chargers in 1987 with a +4 point differential. So
look, I'm
also getting clowned with that stat.
What I'm gonna say is that's point differentials -2, but also if your record is the way it is because of such close games, right?
No. I just want to say people are gonna be calling you frauds now. You have the chance.
I mean, that wasn't surprised. I wasn't going to be surprised by that either way. And they will respond. We'll come back on Thursday and we'll beat the shit out of Bill. But I mean,
is that in Minnesota too, right?
Yes, it's in Minnesota. The thing is it's 1-score games is why the record is 8-2 right now. You were bound if they lost a game by 2 scores, they'd have a negative differential. Like they'd be approaching that, and obviously they lost 40-3, so that's the big point. But like, if you lose any game by that margin, you're bound to like all of
Yeah,
your
it's gonna
points.
sway the
It's
numbers
going to
in a
sway the
certain
numbers just a
direction,
little bit.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not representative of how the actual season has been.
All right, time for
And
my
we'll wrap
question.
with this. We'll wrap with this.
So, I mean, I'm a lifelong fan, of course, but wow, wow. I thought I've seen it all. I thought last year against the Raiders was it all, but my God, it does not get more Chargers than this. And okay, before I get into the last portion of the game, the first thing I want to say is that the way the refs were calling this game specifically was so in favor of the Chargers. Okay. We were literally fucking mauling their receivers on every single pass, like literally bear hugging, grabbing shirt, DPI every single play. Okay. Nothing was getting called. Okay. Like that's how we win these games. All right. Like that's how we have a chance against Mahomes if the ticky tack bullshit isn't getting called. So on the last drive, a lot of Chargers fans were bitching on the PI call, but it's just like I expected that shit to happen on the last drive for Mahomes. Like I'm not very mad. I'm not mad. Like I knew that was gonna get called on the last drive. Like that was gonna get called. What I'm mad about is how the fucking team plays like a bunch of fucking pussies every single time we have a fucking lead. 2 weeks in a row that we go against teams where on paper way fucking better than us, Niners and Chiefs. We have a halftime lead, and then second half, we just curl up into a little fucking snail shell and just stop playing offense. It's now 2 weeks in a row.
I think that's more on coaching than anything, by the way.
It is no.
Also,
It's a coaching thing.
I do also want to note, you did see that I tweeted out before the game started tonight that I switched my pick.
I did see that. In fact, I did.
Okay. Just
I'm
want to
going to be honest,
that.
though. I kind of thought we weren't allowed to do that.
The only
now that I know that,
this
let's
is my
just say
caveat.
I'm updating picks now when I actually have
this
time
was
to think about it
one
before.
No, this was the only
no,
reason.
No.
Let me finish.
Tweeted something out at me randomly, like
the only reason the pick changed.
Now it's fair game.
The only reason the pick
changed, at least for every primetime game, it's fair game.
No, the only reason the pick changed
at the minimum. Injury.
Kyler Murray was out of the fucking game. It's a little difficult to keep.
But that was known like 4 days ago.
No, it was only questionable. It was needed to be confirmed.
Motherfucker wasn't practicing, wasn't playing.
If an injury can cause you to change the pick, we can make that agreement.
I'm just saying it was hella sudden, and I would not change my picks. Clearly, we could see one man who has the worst records caring a lot more about this race. All I'm saying, I'm just pointing that out to you guys. But okay. Last thing I had on the Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers, that the just the weakness, that kind of shit. When you have the lead, that's on coaching.
Yeah, poor coaching. I've kind of been protecting Joe Lombardi. Like, okay, we don't have Keenan, we don't have Mike. Like, we're missing our tackles. Like, we got shorn up. But no, for that last game, dog, you ain't get no fucking excuse in my book anymore. It's just like we were fucking running the ball well all game. Running the ball really well when we were doing play action, making them bite, fucking just keeping them on their heels. And then second half, just uber predictable. Last week against the Niners, Fred Warner in his post-game said, yeah, it was kind of really nice in the second half how we kind of just got a feel for what they were calling, and we kind of just knew what to expect up there. That's not a great sign to hear.
No.
That's not a great sign to hear, Chargers fans. And so, yeah, was not a great look. The last thing I just wanted to say is it's so fucking painful to watch. Justin Herbert, in my opinion, over the last 2 weeks, he's fully healthy now. Like they ran a quarterback sneak with him last week and this week. First time he's done that since week 1 all year, or first times he's done that. He's moving around the pocket. He's sticking in there a little longer. He's more willing to take hits. He's extending plays, like risking downfield throws, taking shots. I just think he's more healthy now, and it's more of literally this Avatar, the Last Airbender type throws I'm seeing out of him, Everett. Like that first throw in the opening drive to Palmer was literally Avatar, the Last Air, just a moonbender dot, just right on the money. And I was like, bro, what the fuck is this offense? Like, what the hell is going on? Like, and I swear Herbert is just more confident in himself now to stick in there, take a hit. I think he just, in my opinion, he's just more confident in his body to take hits. And I think that's just helping the playbook open up a little. But it's like with Keenan back last week, I mean, he had 94 yards, 5 catches on a snap count, but it's just like, God damn, bro. We gotta be using this motherfucker on third down. It's like,
yeah, I think we'll see how they're utilized. Obviously, Keenan's first game back off injury, basically for the whole season. So, I mean, as the season goes on, they'll
the
probably
worst part though was Mike Williams re-hurting his ankle.
But look, it is do or die time now. The Chargers need to pick this shit up if they want a chance to make the playoffs, and we'll see.
That was our chance of maybe getting a bullshit back in the division race, but now
it's all wild card. It's all wild card. So it's do or die time now. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching.
Wait, actually, real quick question for you. So now that you're bringing up standings, I just want to pull it up real quick, the NFC. So you guys are 8-2. The next closest team is technically the Lions at 4-6. So
for
4-game lead. For the division. For the division, I'm saying. Like that shit's pretty much wrapped already at this point, and we kind of knew this last week. You're playing for that number 1 seed. Like that's literally the goal right now. But we also went over how bye weeks are bad. So with all that in mind, Everett, how mad are you about
still
that
want
loss last
still
week?
want the 1 seed.
Still want the 1. Okay. I'm proud of you for changing the opinion on bye weeks. I, however,
after what I just saw happen,
after bye week.
I mean, in baseball, I agree with that. But after what I just watched in person happen to my team because they weren't healthy, having a bye week to rest, get your players more healthy, I think that's going to be way more important in football than anything.
Yeah. But
but with that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening.
Oh yeah, and also the Niners shit on the Cardinals 38-10. All right.
Yeah. Rate us 5 stars. Listen to us on airplanes. Play us through your house speakers while you're home for the holidays. Listen to us on Thanksgiving. You could do it when you're toasting people. You can do it for your pre-meal prayer.
People?
Like toasting. Like you're toasting.
Okay. When you were
you
saying
thought like you were burning people,
I just thought literally you had me think. I was like, sorry, my bad.
Anyways, rate us 5 stars. Give us a like. Follow us on @Waterboy Pod on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, everything. We're blowing up. Tell your friends.
Oh my God! Next episode has to be at least some type of special Thanksgiving episode.
Oh yes,
type, because that literally will be going up on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening, watching.
Thanksgiving podcast, fucking lucky.
Waterboys out.